I just thought he was better than this. And after 3 years, if I saw a little sign of progress here and there, I'd say, hey, let the kids continue to grow up, give him a shot next year. I'm sorry, as much as I like him personally, I cannot defend him any longer.
Skip, I thought the first year he didn't get a fair shake because at his introductory press conference, one of Texas' largest boosters, Red McComb, says he'd make a great defensive coordinator.
Yep.
But if you want to win administration, you want to win the student body, you want to win boosters over, you win. And that's all he had to do. If he had one ball game, I'm going to say, the first year, chalk that up. Hey, new system, try to get your guys in there. You're trying to weed out all the bad apples, find out the guys that truly, sincerely want to play football, who truly, sincerely want to be at the University of Texas, and what it means to have that burnt orange on with that the long horn on the side of the helmet. I need to find those guys. I need to make sure the guys that were here before I got here truly want to be here. So he weeded out. And like you said, when you come in and you lay the hammer down, it needs to manifest itself in wins. It did not. With that being said, so now we go to the second and third year. Skip, you got to win. There are certain jobs, Alabama, Michigan, Ohio State, USC, Notre Dame. Those jobs, you can't go 8-4. 9-3 is not good enough for those jobs. You need to be playing, you need to get into the playoffs, or at the bare minimum, play on New Year. You got to play in one of those big bowls, Skip. Because if you don't, they're going to run you out of town because they've been at the top of the mountaintop for so long. Now, I don't know if Texas in a year or two, even if I believe they're going to go after Tom Herman, the head coach of the University.
I would assume so. Yep.
I thought that at the very beginning.
And you've liked him all year.
I have.
Would you please join me in welcoming Coach Tom Herman? Thank you very much. Thank you, Mike, for the kind words, and President Penvis for the unbelievable opportunity to be here and to be a part of the Longhorn football family. Houston will always have a special place for me and my family. But now we are home, and I can't wait to get started. The University of Texas is a special place, and deservedly holds a seat among college football elite. We will win championships, we will build men of character, we will graduate our players, and we will do it all with integrity and with class.
Ehlinger, by the way, I learned that. I was calling him How about this, Anwar? I was calling him Ehlinger for like 2 months, right? And so I heard him introduce himself to somebody the other day, and he said, Ehlinger. And I said, Sam, I've been saying, this is how good a kid he is. I said, Sam, I've been calling you Ehlinger since I got here. Why didn't you correct me? He said, Coach, everybody kind of makes that mistake, and I didn't want to upset you. I said, dude, that's your name, right? So it is Ehlinger. So, and it's hard for me to change, but I'm working on it too, man. Me and you can be together.
University 4 years ago, you became the man of the house. How has that helped you on your journey as a leader?
The first 6 months after my dad passed away, I was not a leader.
My cell phone rang. They said, this is the EMS fire marshal, and we're with your husband. And he's not breathing, and we're having a hard time resuscitating him, and you need to come immediately. And then we got to him, and he was on the dock, and then they said that we tried. They tried.
Ross Ehlinger died of cardiac arrest. He was 46 years old. Despite her grief, Jenna rushed to the airport. She wanted her 3 children, 1,700 miles away in Austin, to hear the news of their father's death from her.
My mom walked in the door with all of her friends, and she was bawling, crying, so I immediately knew.
I didn't have to say anything. He looked at me and fell apart.
My body actually gave out. I actually completely lost all strength in my body and just collapsed to the floor.
I just tried to hold him, but the sound that he made, the cry that came out of him, it was just a painful, horrible sound. to see that kind of just horrible pain is really hard.
From that point forward, it was having to take care of my brother and sister because I was older than them, and as well as my mom because she lost the love of her life and she was devastated. I had to grow up really quickly.
The last thing I wanted was for him to feel pressure of having to be that father figure, but there was no stopping him.
So, how do you think I've done taking care of Jake and Morgan and our family?
I think you've done amazing.
He has been the rock for all of us. And of course I try not to, put that kind of pressure on him because you want a kid to be a kid.
Hi.
Hey.
How was volleyball?
Good.
He just has a strength about him and an attitude of everything's gonna be okay. He's an amazing kid. He really is.
With the given situation that I've had, it's not just learning how to deal with yourself, it's learning how to deal with life. Because I've been through the worst of the worst. That's one of the worst things that you can ever go through. And knowing that I can get through that in a positive way, that gave me confidence to know that I can do that with whoever it is in whatever situation they're in.
I fell in love with Sam Ehlinger for two reasons, and neither of them are quantifiable or things that you see on videotape. Yes, he was the Gatorade State Player of the Year as an 11th grader. That's in the state of Texas. That's big time stuff. But two things to me stood out with Sam that are not on that video. And one is what he's been through in his life and the fact that he's had to mature at a very, very young age and grow up really fast. And he's transitioned or translated that maturity into this really dynamic leadership quality that he has. He's an alpha male. You walk into the room, he walks into the room, and it's like, whoa, okay, Sam's here. And so he's a competitor, and I just love that about quarterbacks. And the second thing is the kid was committed to the University of Texas. Tears his meniscus in week 1 of his senior year. Could have easily settled. Probably a lot of players would have said, that's it, I'm shutting it down, I'm going to rehab, get ready for my college career, I'm an early enrollee, and I'm done. Guys, good luck, I'll be there cheering you on from the sidelines. Not Sam. He said, get me back on the field as fast as you can, do whatever surgery is possible to get me on the field. 4 weeks later, he's on the field, he plays 2 games, he breaks his thumb. All right, now, surely, we're like 9 games into the season or 8 games into the season. You're just going to shut it down, right? Go get ready to go compete for the job in Texas. Not Sam Ehlinger. Sam Ehlinger probably comes back too soon on that hand, but he does come back. He plays in 2 playoff games for his team, winds up breaking his hand. So, when you put that in perspective, yeah, everybody says, oh, injury-laden senior year. It didn't have to be, The guy could have just said, I'm going to Texas. After that first one, he could have just said, I'm out. And he didn't. And that tells me a lot about, 1, how much does the kid love football, and 2, how great of a teammate is he that he was willing to continue to put himself back out there, even though he knew he had this opportunity at Texas waiting for him.
That adversity, and that brings us to the quarterback situation. At some point in the loss to Maryland, Shane Buechele injured his throwing shoulder. He practiced but did not throw this week, potentially opening the door for the freshman quarterback Sam Ehlinger to make his Texas debut. For more, here's Chris Button.
Well, as you guys said, that adversity hits today, as well as the true freshman Sam Ehlinger will be getting the start today. Now, Shane Buechele was looked at before the game, but the medical staff said that throwing shoulder was not medically cleared to play. So the local product will be getting his first career start. I spoke with Tom Herman before the game, and he said the biggest thing that he's worked with Ehlinger through the week is on his patience. Now we'll just have to see how that holds up in a situation.
Georgia averaging 40 points a game in the SEC. Texas is averaging 31, and they're piddly little conference. They allow 26 points a game. Georgia only allows 18. And I cannot stress the difference of the conferences. Georgia averages almost 500 yards a game. Texas is averaging about 415. They're averaging 415 yards in a pass-happy league. Georgia is averaging almost 500 yards in a conference that focuses on defense. Georgia is real balanced. I mean, Georgia's rushing average is 250 yards versus 227 in passing. Texas's rushing is only 151 a game, and their passing is 264. Georgia just doesn't allow much, and you're not going to jump out there and see Texas just walk all over Georgia. Georgia can come out as flat as sweet tea, and Texas still ain't going to win this game. It's still going to be a 2-3 score game. Georgia's going to come out ticked off. Georgia's going to come out there with the boots on, and they're going to stomp a mud hole in them and walk them dry. And I'm sorry, but that's the way it's going to be. I'm objective. I'm as objective as I can get. But this is going to be an embarrassment.
144 combined receptions. And they get 145. Humphrey driving out toward midfield and crosses midfield to the 49 of Georgia. Their pass rush by committee. They bring some pressure on 3rd and 4. Nice call by Tim Beck, the offensive coordinator, against it. And Keontae Ingram, the freshman running back. Of Holyfield, don't forget about us. Doing it in the passing game, the running backs, the play fake, a good ball by Ehlinger, and another first down to Devin Duvernay.
Hits him for the first down.
Again, the rapid pace, and Ehlinger runs it in, a la Tim Tebow. Touchdown, Texas. What a start for the Horns. For a reason, his knee was down, and while we were away in the replay booth, they took a look at it, and they are going to mark the ball all the way back at the 27-yard line of Georgia. Inside handoff to DeAndre Swift.
Ball's out.
The ball is out. A pile up at the 13. The Horns say they have it, and they do. Gerald Wilbon came up with the football.
The guys that Holly was just talking about. Freshman B.J. Foster, number 25, is going to come up and knock the ball out. Along with Anthony Wheeler, number 45.
Georgia without DeAndre Baker, the corner on the Jim Bowl, one of the best DB in the country. Ehlinger holds the run. Ehlinger, touchdown, Texas. A 10 for 80 yards passing. He rushed for a couple. He's in trouble. Ducks under the hip from Aziz Ojulari, and that was a big whiff by Ojulari. Grummeyer is rehabbing the knee as well. Another one of the most highly recruited players in the country. Watson breaking a tackle down the sideline and bumped out of bounds by J.R. Reed. Not mentioned excellent receiver. They bring a blitz right up the middle, and Fromm goes down. Anthony Wheeler, the outstanding senior linebacker, untouched. Orlando looks like he's going to bring a blitz. 5 men come after Fromm. He throws on the run, up for grabs, and intercepted by P.J. Locke. Playing in his final game at the University of Texas. A huge interception to start the half for the Horns. Donaware motion almost looked like he cut up the field too early. Fromm knocked down short of the line to make by his couple, Jeffrey McCulloch.
But stay aggressive.
A big difference between last year and this for Texas. They've won close games. They haven't blown fourth quarter leads.
Of the football game is the Texas running game and run defense.
Rush for 131. Ehlinger, deep throw, up for grabs. There's Colin Johnson out of the witness protection program at the 25 and the 23.
Eric Stokes is in great position. The problem is Eric Stokes.
You pride yourself on that last night, all season long and all night tonight. The that's what they're doing. And Ehlinger launching into the end zone. Looked like he was wobbling as he got to the goal line, but he made it on 4th down. 14-play drive to try and retire Johnson. With Tyson Campbell all over him. Managed to take it in, converted on 3rd down. With the 3-man rush, a quick slant. Humphrey bounces off the hit and keeps on going. And finally taken out of bounds on the far sideline of the front. And it's recovered by the Longhorn, Colin Johnson. And Texas will win the All-State Sugar Bowl. Longhorn Nation, we're back.
We cannot say it any better than that. Congratulations to the Longhorns, the All-State Sugar Bowl champions of 2019. Thanks everybody for coming out, and congratulations.